Against the back wall of the EAG International arcade trade show was Sega once again, with a huge area full of games both new and slightly less new, a mix of video games and redemption machines. We already talked in detail about Sega's hot new game here in our Daytona Championship USA video, but let's explore the rest of their booth to see what else they had on offer this year.
So Sega had Let's Go Island. This is another new cabinet. I say new cabinet because the game's actually kind of old. It came out in 2011, so they've sort of repurposed it into a new cabinet. They call this the Dream Edition because it's based on another arcade game they had a while back.
Right.
So they've taken that machine and put this slightly older light gun game into it. Yeah, we played quite an extended bit of that.
We did actually, just because it was so out there.
It was pretty ridiculous.
Graphically, it was like Dream Cars.
Maybe slightly above Dream Cars. But
yeah. One thing about it was the character design. I think it was done on purpose, but the people were ugly.
They were so hideous. They all got like stuck up noses like up here.
They were just cartoony, like ugly.
Yeah.
And personalities to boot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely got that ridiculous sort of like Sega charm to it, like cheesy dialogue like House of the Dead and that kind of stuff. It was basically about these two people on a holiday that end up in some weird shit where every frigging bit of sea life wants to kill them. It was weird.
Yeah, it was basically like that. It was like out of the frying pan into the fire constantly, so it doesn't really settle down, so you got that adrenaline going.
It never calms down.
And yeah, basically it just goes from one ridiculous situation to the next.
It's got like loads of little mini games in it as well that use like the big buttons that you've
all like
got.
QTE events.
Yeah, you've got like, because again you've got like a sort of like handle railgun thing, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you can you get like these mini games where you have to like shunt them left and right, and you get these ones where you get like these clock handles come up and you have to hit the buttons at the same time. And it had a bit of a sort of like a compatibility thing going on with it, didn't it?
Yeah, it was all based on like if you're shooting the same targets. Or,
even had a mechanic where if you both shoot the same thing, you get like a bonus for it. If you both target the exact same enemy and shoot it at the same time, you sort of get like a compatibility bonus. Sort of like a love bonus, little hearts pop out. And it tells you how compatible you are with your partner when you end, which is quite amusing. So this is quite an old game, but I haven't actually played it before. I've seen it a couple times.
It was just a great deal of fun, and it's another one of those machines that had the motion.
Yeah, we should mention that because that is actually the main reason this new cabinet was there. It's the new cabinet. It really does rock you around.
It throws you about the place and it doesn't stop. Like you're constantly just being flung around, and it was a lot of fun because of that. It kept me going.
The arcade game that they had beforehand that used this cabinet was literally you just watch a movie and it would move you around. And I've seen quite a lot of arcades have that, so it was cool for them to actually apply a game to it as well. So you actually got something to do while you're being chucked around by this machine.
This is now it's just caressed, like just swaying back and forth nicely. I could just fall asleep in this. That was fun. I like these the noise and rumble they have. Do not forget your belongings.
Another machine that was there right near it, I'm not entirely sure if it was supposed to be related, but it was by Sega and it's got a similar name, but they had Let's Go Safari, which is like a kid's machine, which I climbed inside.
It was so fun to watch.
Yeah, it was quite special. It's clearly there to like teach you about like wild animals and stuff. But it was just odds. You're like driving down a road and you've got like a steering wheel and you can sort of drive left and right, and you've got several buttons. You've actually got like VR camera buttons, but they're not camera buttons, they're just like numbers, but they look just like the buttons on Daytona, like the VR buttons. Yeah, you just get like all these cars driving along and you drive in between them and you press buttons and like animals pop up, and then suddenly like a live action clip will come up of an animal. Like at one point there were giraffes fighting each other, where they like whack each other with their heads, and there was a firework button. You could just set off fireworks at any time, and I was just sitting there
not a good idea in
spamming.
any safari.
Yeah, no, there was just a firework button, there was a noisy horn, there was a button that would tell you the name of the animal in English and Chinese. For some reason.
That's the best part of it. Just
Yeah.
like, you just pressing random buttons and all of a sudden it'll tell you it.
It's just loads of noise and fireworks, and it was just odd. Once I discovered that you can boost, that was it.
Press. Oh! Oh! I'm gonna do that.
And it had a bit of an outrun thing going on as well. You could go down like different routes, and you would even get like the map at the end where it shows all the forks in the road you turned off.
You've learned about the emu, the
Yeah.
camel, the gorilla, and a cat.
Yeah. When you got to the very last bit, it would come up with like a little questionnaire thing. It was like, oh, does the gorilla have a tail or no tail? And you had to like turn the handle.
Oh god.
Yeah, that was an experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind trying that again.
I'm here now. Oh no!
Another game that actually came out last year, but for some reason wasn't at EAG last year, was Luigi's Mansion, which is a Sega-published arcade machine developed by Capcom based on a Nintendo game.
Wow.
Yeah, bit weird.
I'll tell you, I was watching you and Stacey playing. Wow, those light gun controllers were pretty damn special.
They were really cool, them vacuum controllers. It actually kind of feels more like a Wii game than most other sort of modern light gun games. But the really cool thing is when you suck things up like coins, you actually feel them go through the controller. It's almost like a HD rumble kind of thing.
They have like a little rumble.
Well, it's not even like a rumble, it's actually like a smack. You actually feel like a coin that goes into the thing. It actually like rocks the controller.
It might be something like a pinball and just like flicks up and just like pow.
Yeah.
It was really,
I didn't even know
it's
that.
a really cool mechanic, and just like a little touch to it. The actual game is apparently based on the 3DS sequel, Luigi's Mansion 2. It's got the same graphics, you can tell. It's like HD'd up 3DS game, you can just kind of tell. But it does have all the mechanics of Luigi's Mansion, where you have to flash them with a light first, and then sort of do the kind of Ghostbusters thing where you're sort of trying to drag them around and like get all the hearts out of them. It's got quite a lot of story little bits with Professor EGAD and all that kind of stuff. And it's definitely got the charm of like Luigi's Mansion. It's kind of like an on rails kind of thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, does the gameplay work in an arcade?
I think it does, because it's on rails, so you're just walking like automatically. The way you catch ghosts in the original GameCube game, it feels just like that, but with a motion controller basically. It's like if they made a Wii Luigi's Mansion, and it's just that controller is just so good. It's like a proper massive motion controller vacuum, and with all those extra parts of like it actually feeling like it's sucking stuff up. It's really clever.
That's pretty cool.
Really neat.
It was a very impressive cabinet. It was quite big as well.
It's like you go into like a little cinema almost. It feels like a little cinema room.
I noticed a few of those.
Yeah, a few of the games do that.
Probably got bigger curtains on the side just to block out all the...
It completely blacks out everything, most of the other ones don't do that. You just sort of walk in them, but this one felt like you were actually like in a little dark room, which was cool.
Oh yeah, us fat guys gotta stick together.
We played a lot more Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympics.
It was my first time having a go on it, and wow.
It's easily one of my favourite arcade machines of the last few years, just because them giant joysticks with the buttons on them and the trackpads.
They really add to it, because you got the trackpad, which is good enough as it is. You can sort of run on the spot, you can jump with it. But in place of things like motion controls and stuff like that, you got these huge sticks. They felt fantastic because you can do so much with them as well. You can use them for leaning, you can twirl them around, and you fling them up and down, and you can do things like archery with them and stuff. So this is a really impressive bit of kit. It's a huge arcade machine.
Yeah, especially with the big multiplayer setup that they have there. I think it's one of the most expensive arcade machines at the moment.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It's like the sort of natural evolution of track and field. I was really impressed with it. I loved the running, jumping games, everything. Yeah, it just felt as you would expect it to feel. You know, you've got to find your pace when you're
Even
running.
that archery one works really nicely,
That
doesn't
was
it?
nice.
How you like aim with one of them and you sort of flick with the other stick as well.
It actually felt a bit natural.
Yeah, it really does. I actually think that's my favourite version of any of the Mario Sonic Olympics games. Bit of a shame that it has the Rio Olympics 2016 branded on it. I wonder if they're going to at some point reskin that.
I think that'd be a good
Or
idea.
maybe update it when the next Olympics are coming around for the Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah.
If they want to upgrade this machine, so someone can just replace the game inside it with an update.
I agree with not having it tied to a specific Olympic
If
event.
they
You don't
can.
need to do that, do you?
If they can,
I agree that they shouldn't do that because like you say, you're going to date it.
It's already dated.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a bit of a tricky one because it's like how that's the selling point, but then it also is the deterrent to it in a way, which is a shame because I think it's an amazing machine. I kind of want one.
Now that
It's
is
such a good.
that is a
machine.
proper arcade experience there as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's also the way that anyone can just join in as well. Like if I can just walk up and have a go.
Yeah, it really is.
If they think they're hard enough.
No one's as hard as Metal Sonic.
Yeah. Although, Luigi, when he's sprinting, you get a boost
swims in the air.
Yeah, he swims. Why does he do that? We do not
Because
know.
he's
But
Waluigi.
yeah,
I love Robotnik when he just sort of ballet twirls
twirls across, yeah.
the 100 metres.
Yeah.
We already know he can run faster than Sonic.
yeah.
There's quite a few new games this year. This one's just playing itself. Look. Whee!
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man's playing this one. He's not doing very well, but he's invisible, so he's not doing too bad. So that's Storm Racer G Deluxe. So they had Storm Racer G last year. Now they've got a deluxe cabinet that moves by itself. They also have Storm Rider. These are both by Wahlap.
We didn't actually get to play it for a long time because they were actually having a lot of trouble with it. They had a few technical problems with it, but we did get on it and
Felt like a
great.
mobile game expanded into like an arcade game.
It kind of
was-
just felt a bit cheap. And
Yeah.
not very good. Should have probably played it a couple more times just to get the gist of it.
Yeah.
And the crashes were just really bad. You'd hit a car and it'd feel like you were just going to like a cutscene animation of your car spinning around and then automatically go back in. It just felt really kind of cheap and nasty. I mean, it moved nice and smoothly and whatnot, but it just felt odd. I don't know, it didn't really gel with me, to be honest. We probably should have played it a bit longer, but I don't know, I didn't really get on with it. The game next to it, Storm Rider, that was even worse. That was absolutely dreadful. I wouldn't even... I mean, it's a bike game like Manx TT and all that kind of stuff where you actually tilt the thing, but it felt like an early, cheap Xbox Live Arcade game. It looked dreadful. It was just bad.
Do you remember when we got off of it and the smelt on hands?
Yeah.
It smelled like melted rubber and stuff.
Plastic, the
God.
plastic on the handles was just came off on us or something.
I
We had
don't know
a
if it-
horrible smell on our
Yeah,
hands.
I don't know if it was like an antibacterial sort of thing, but
Yeah, so not only did the game stink, but our hands stinked.
A good chunk of Sega's area is dedicated to redemption machines, mostly created by ICE. There was a couple standout new ones this year, such as Fly a Clock, which has you hopping about on a clock trying to avoid the hands, which are pulsating with electric for some reason. It's good simple fun and has a beautifully presented huge round screen and cute animation.
Wah, let's get fast. No! Ah! That wasn't too bad though. That was better than last time.
7 hours.
Almost 12 o'clock. Is it?
More like 2, but
It's 2 o'clock. Your watch is bad. Fly again.
There was also Screwball, in which you have to fill 16 holes with red balls by spinning a bar in the centre. It's trickier than it looks and chants at you the whole way through. It kind of sounds like the Bill Nye song. The coolest part is how the balls pop back out the holes at the end of the game. Poof! There was also Plants vs Zombies, The Last Stand, which confirmed that a machine we saw earlier called Iceman was a rip-off of this. This doesn't have the weird maintenance nightmare of a water gun though. We also had another go at the stunningly recreated physical version of Angry Birds, of which Johnny Noobhead got quite addicted to and frustrated with, as you have to take out all the pigs in one shot to get 3 stars and presumably much more tickets, but the physics of the game made sure that wouldn't happen.
Well, that went well. Doink. Oh, go, 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 go! Ah! Even that would be like, ah, not good enough. Yeah, see? You have to get them all in one shot, otherwise it's just like, nah, go away.
So that was EAG International for another year. This is a great way to check out how the arcade industry is currently doing and a fun day out. Now if only I could just win the lottery, I'd come back here and actually buy some of these machines. I'll take a Mario and Sonic Rio Olympics and the world's largest Pac-Man, please. Oh, if only. If only.